Max Mendoza and Tina de Guzman are the co-founders of Pinay Girl Boss and are an empowered duo. Their willingness to give back, eagerness to do good, and ability to persevere are just some of the many factors that make them the leaders that we are today.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of In Love With Me, where we feature inspiring individuals who will share their amazing stories. I am your host, Mafae Velasco, and for this series, our topic is Leaders of Today. You know, the world is filled with leaders and game changers of all ages and backgrounds. This season, we aim to highlight people who make a positive impact in the world and, of course, around them through their actions and words. For today's guest, I'm truly inspired and excited to share with you these beautiful ladies who continuously change the game in every way possible. So to start off, we have Tina and, of course, Max, co-founders of Pinay Girl Boss and a community of go-getters, women and men who want to empower Filipinos into being the boss of their own lives. Together, they aim to lead others to become the best versions of themselves, and they serve as an example in their respective fields. And that is what makes them the leader that they are today. So let's welcome to In Love With Me series, Max Mendoza and Tina de Guzman. Hello, ladies. How are you both?
We're very good. Hi, Mafae.
Hello. I'm so glad I can finally grab the two of you together because I know that we have been challenged with both of you just being so busy, and that is the reason why I'm so inspired on everything that you both are doing at the same time, really empowering lives. So, of course, everyone here who's tuned in, thank you very much for always supporting. And let's get to know these ladies. So maybe we can start with Tina. Can you share a little bit of your background and what you do, of course, apart from what I shared earlier, and maybe touch on Pinay Girl Boss. How did you start that?
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, Mafae. So I think I can start first. Yeah.
Go ahead, Max.
So, hi, everybody. Thank you, Mafae, for having us on your show. We super love your show. We love your advocacies. And for your viewers, my name is Max. I'm based in Saudi Arabia. I'm the co-founder of Pinay Girl Boss, like what Mafae introduced. I've been living here for almost 30 years now. I live here with my husband and son. I also work for an
First of
airline.
all,
So,
Mafi, thank you for having us. I'm so excited to be here and to have a discussion with all your
Okay.
followers. And I'm Tina de Guzman. I am an entrepreneur and a mom. I have two kids and a lawyer and a podcaster and a community builder. So I am behind the Oil Natural Project, Fit Moms Project, PH, and of course, Pinay Girl Boss. So I am super. I
I think
That's a
she
lot,
finally
right?
heard us.
But yeah, I am in favor of finding our passion and empowering each other. I think it's a good environment right now that we
Mhm.
are, very vocal about finding our paths, and we are not limited to what we have been born into. And I love the show because you are empowering the leaders of tomorrow. So thank you so much for having us.
Of course, Tina. And of course, Max. Go ahead. You were
I
saying.
I won't restart. So I work for an airline, but at the same time, I'm also an entrepreneur, and we collectively, as Pinay Girl Boss, we believe that no matter what age, gender, financial, or educational status you're in, you can be the author of your own story. So
Yes.
that's why we're here. That's why we're doing what we're doing.
Exactly. And speaking of Pinay Girl Boss, I know that it is such an amazing platform, and maybe you can share with everyone who's tuned in. How did you come up with the platform? Where did you both start? Or perhaps where did you guys meet?
So Tina and I met in 2017. We met through our essential oils business, and we were
Mm,
complete strangers to each other at that time. We had a common friend, Rachel Hamiro, so she both got us into essential oils, and we just hit it off. Like from the beginning, Tina and I were. It's like we knew each other since we were kids, and we have so
right.
many things in common. And one day, Tina sent me a message. This was last year during the peak of the pandemic. She's like, I have an idea, and would you like to join me? So I've learned through the past 4 years that when Tina asks you to do something, regardless of what it is, you don't ask. You just say, yes, yes, I'm in. And that's how it
Yeah.
started. It started out as a podcast because we
Mhm.
wanted to hear inspiring stories, and we love talking. So we love talking to each other. We love talking to other people. So Tina was like, why not record these conversations and have like people listen in on? So I'll let Tina tell you more about what happened after the podcast was launched.
Mhm. So go ahead, Tina, if you can hear us. And I have the same sentiment. This show was actually an intimate workshop that turned into discovering that the online
Okay.
platform is available and being put live.
Thank
So
you so much
yes,
for that. And thank you for the trust.
yes, Tina, share naman what happened
Okay,
after.
I have to apologize. I think it's the rains. It's been raining so hard where I am, and so internet is really bad. But
That's all
yeah,
right.
it started with our essential oils community, and we have met so many men and women who are goal getters and who come from different backgrounds. And we realized that if you just find your voice, and if you just find inspiration and motivation to get out of whatever situation you are in, especially now that it's the pandemic, you can be the
Yes.
author of your own story. And
Mhm.
so because of the community that we now have, which has grown bigger over time, we have met so many people who have the skills, the knowledge, the wisdom, and experience to inspire other people. And so that's what we're doing now with Pinay Girl Boss. And there's so many things in the pipeline. It's not going to be a one-time thing, but for now, we are hoping to serve thousands or maybe hundreds of thousands of Filipinos out there who have access to Facebook and YouTube, by joining Be Your Own Boss, because we
Mhm.
have gathered people like Mafae and so many others who have empowered themselves and who are
Mhm.
so selfless with their time and wisdom also to empower others. And so we are doing this free workshop, which is a 2-day event. And we would love for you to take the time and invest in yourself and find out how you can be better, how you can be stronger. We're not saying you're not in a good place. If you are in a good place right now, then that's great. But we are saying there's so many things that we can still do and accomplish starting today.
And speaking of that, thank you. It was such an honor also to empower the community of Pinay Girl Boss and also be part of your endless events. And I still remember, I think we did your launch. Has it been a year since the launch of Pinay Girl Boss? I remember
Can
we did
you?
one with
Not yet.
the.
Not yet. Not even a year.
Oh my gosh, but it feels like we've known each other for a long time. That's the thing.
I
But
know.
that's the luxury.
Kindred
That's the luxury
spirits.
of the online. Right, exactly. So speaking of that, your upcoming event, it's really identifying being the boss of your life. So for you, Max, maybe what would be your number one key to being the boss of your own life?
You have to start loving yourself. You have to start learning to say yes and no to yourself. It's not just about being a boss in your business, being a boss in your job. It's basically taking control of your life and knowing what you really want to do with it.
Mhm. So true. And Tina, what do you think is the ethics and what kind of ethics you believe in following while working in this type of industry of empowering others? I mean, I know you mentioned that um, you're also an entrepreneur. Both you and Max are somewhat partners in the oiling business. So,
Mm-hmm.
what would be the kind of ethics on being successful?
I think you just have to continue showing up because whether you are, no matter what position you're in, people will be looking for you and relying on you. And so your presence, your voice, that would be very important. That's what will keep most of the communities and businesses that we have. It's based on teamwork. And so that's very important. We do honor and we teach this in our communities that you have to honor where you are, like and have your personal boundaries. Like if you're sick, if you're not feeling well, you have to honor that, but then you still have to perform and
Mhm.
go and show up for the people that rely on you. And also, I think one of the most moving forces behind our communities is that we support each other. That's it. There's so many projects. There are many bosses out there who are starting small, and for us, because we also started there, our heart
Mhm.
just goes out to supporting local. And that's the idea behind Pinay Girl Boss, behind Be Your Own Boss, all of these things.
Mhm.
We want to support our own homegrown talent. Filipinos are really good, whether it's the arts, whether it's intellect, it's project, so many things. And before we go out there, let's support our homegrown talents first. And I think that's the one that is really moving our projects.
Mhm. I totally agree with you. And I know earlier Max was praising you in, your amazing and successful ideas. So you mentioned there showing up is very important. It's very vital on, creating the opportunities and the blessings because you're consistently saying yes, even though you don't know what the outcome is, but you're showing up. So everyone who's listening, great wisdom and wise words from Tina and Max right here. And I wanted to ask you, ladies, of course, with creating all these events and empowering all these people, how do you both balance your own personal life? Knowing that people always rely on your actions. Perhaps, Max, we can start with you.
So I have a full time job, and that's one of my non negotiables. And Tina knows this. I'm at work from 7 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon, and that time is really spent on me focusing on my day job. But beyond this, sometime from 5 in the morning, I start sending her messages, and my first thing is, Tina, I'm alive. So we start talking about ideas, we do other things, and in the afternoon, that's when I focus on my other online businesses and, of course, Pinay Girl Boss. I think it's all about creating systems. You once you commit to something, there's never an excuse of not being able to do it. I'm a mom as well, and I'm a wife, and I have priorities to both my husband and my son. I guess I'm just also really lucky that my husband is a very hands-on dad, and at the same time, he believes that things at home should be done together. So I'm not left to do everything by myself, because here in Saudi Arabia, we don't have help. It's just really
Right.
the three of us. So it's all about committing to the things that you're doing and creating systems.
I agree with you, and I could see the
I love
glow.
that.
So kudos to
And
your
like,
husband
you
for the
know that,
honesty.
Mafe,
Well, happy wife, happy life.
I
So
think you're the
yes.
best example, Mafe. I mean, when I look at your life, you have so many kids, and I'm like, I have one, and I feel like I have 10 kids.
Well, it's like you said, it's creating the intentions, right? And managing your time where you train others to understand, hey, I'm doing this, I'm with my family, so work will have to wait, especially when there's emergencies or things that are just uh, you can't do anything about it. And I believe that's the reason why we create these communities, so that we can also manage our own time and have a support system. And having said that, Tina, you always empower. Well, I met you first, so I heard from you so many like requests and things like that, and I was just wow. I love how the collaborations just continue, And
Uh-huh.
having said that, where do you find the time also? Because I know, my gosh, even this year you had um, just your health alone, and then all of a sudden you're back on the
Yeah.
go. So where do you find your strength?
I'm gonna I'm going to build on what Max has mentioned. You establish systems, you get all the support that you can, and I'm so grateful for everyone who's supporting me, my family, my household help, my
Mhm.
community. So all of these things make things work because you don't live in an you're not an island. You can't do everything, and if you want to be everything to everyone, you can't. So I guess the first step is realizing that and making sure that one of the tips that I live by is hire your weaknesses. So if you're not good at something, you have to hire. Time is a commodity, diba? We always hear this. Time is gold, and so you don't have to scrimp on your business if you need to outsource something because for example building a website you can figure it out, right? You can figure it out, you're smart. It's what's gonna take you maybe 3 days to set up your tinadeguzman.com will take an
Mhm.
expert 2 hours to set up. So
Yes.
don't be kuripot when it comes to that because your precious 3 days building your own website dahil tinipid mo siya, you can use that doing so many other things and you can be more productive that way. And so it's just being smart about your time, how you manage it, and establishing your boundaries. So Max knows this, Mafe, you know this. I it's one of my non-negotiables is I have to be there for my kids before bedtime, and
Yeah.
that's a time for us to bond. It's either we're gonna have movie time or reading time, or just talking, and so
Mhm.
I wouldn't set any meetings at that time because that's sacred
Mhm.
for us. So
Right.
it's just being smart about how you manage your time.
Yes. And of course, I think the three of us only wish we knew what we knew now when we were younger. Because there's so many things, even me as an athlete, I was a tennis player, and just knowing about meditation, about just eating the right things, I wish I knew that then. But for you both, knowing what you know now, I mean, also speaking to existence to the young leaders who are still, finding their path, finding their way, and are inspired by you, what would be your advice to them on following perhaps a similar journey as you both? Maybe
Yeah.
Max.
So three things. It would be, don't stop dreaming, don't stop believing in yourself, because one of the things I realized was as people get older and as reality sets in, sometimes the dreamer in you gets put aside just because you have to comply with the norm, you have to comply with the rules of society. But then dreaming and believing in yourself will really help you to achieve greater things. Number two is be consistent. So, regardless of what's going on in your life, find something you're good at and do it consistently. Because you don't have to do 1,000 things and end up not finishing a single thing. Like, do one thing first, do it consistently, finish it, and it'll be amazing. And number three, don't be afraid to ask for help. It won't make you look stupid. It won't make you look weak. Actually, the more you ask for help, the faster you'll be able to get results. And a lot of the times, we don't get what we want because we never asked. We never tried. So those are the three things I'd want to share with the
Exactly.
younger generation.
How about you, Tina?
You're still young, Max. Max is so
I know,
young.
right? Yeah, we're all young.
We're all
Very
young.
much. Oh, we are young. Agree, agree. I love those tips. I would add, I want to copy it, but I would add that for me, the top three would be number one, set your goal. So one of the things, I'm a very ambitious person, and I come from humble beginnings. And if I did not set a high goal, then I'm gonna get stuck in that humble place, you know. So we should look at life that we are not victims of what we're born into. And I hope you guys, if you're watching and you feel like you are limited by what you were born into, like you don't like your finances, maybe you can't go attend the universities or the courses that you want to attend, there is something that you can do. But the first step is dream big. So I've gone through several sessions and inner work. I did a lot of those for me to be able to remove my limiting beliefs. So yes, I was ambitious, but not that ambitious. But now, because I was able to identify my limiting beliefs, now I'm dreaming big. Both Max and I, we are dreaming big things. So that's number one. Number two, you have to do the work. You can't end with just dreaming. And I have seen people who feel like they are failures, but I know that they have not given their best yet. They have not tried hard enough. So put in the work, because nothing will happen if the work is not there. And number three is run with runners. So I just love this community that we are in, because you guys are very, very inspiring. Sometimes it's just chikahan time, we're just catching up, but then ideas keep coming up, and then we do it. And so it's good to be surrounded by people who are very positive, because energy is so important, right? So if you surround yourself with positivity, with dreamers, and fellow runners, then what's gonna happen? You're gonna reach the top together.
I love that. Run with runners, guys, because life is a marathon. We have to enjoy every water break, right? But your event is
Uh-huh.
coming up, so maybe you can share with everyone how or where they can find the details and what's going to happen,
So
ladies.
it's on July 24 and 25. That's this weekend.
Oh my gosh, yes, exactly.
It's we were just looking at the program. We're like, this is a full program. So don't forget to visit the link. We'll share it in the chat box so that everybody can sign up. And the first hour, so this is very important. The first hour is going to be streamed on Facebook and YouTube, but the rest of the program is going to be through a webinar. So you really have to register to get into the program. But we have amazing speakers. We have fun things in store for you, as well as some raffle prizes for those who register. But I'll let Tina talk to you more about what's going to happen in the program.
Go ahead,
Okay,
Tina.
so we have so many people who have said yes to us. We're all about saying yes, and the people around us are also saying yes, and they are people who have personal breakthroughs. So these are people who have broken glass ceilings, and we know that their stories will inspire people because some of them have started an entire industry. Like it wasn't existing, but they came up with the idea and ran with it. So I hope you guys will attend because these stories will really help you get inspired and will help you realize that, yeah, I can be the author of my own story. And it's not just about hearing inspirational stories. We have two of the best life coaches in the Philippines. We're all about supporting local. We really believe in the talent and wisdom of Filipinos. And so we have two coaches. We have Dr. Leah Bernardo, the happiness doctor, and we have Kimi Lu. And they are going to teach us and lead us through workshops so we can identify and get past our limiting beliefs and get us dreaming and get us into that state where we are inspired and we are going to make ourselves the bosses of our own lives. So I hope you do register because this is free. And Max and I have attended so many, both free and paid. And we're just so lucky that we have so many people who believe in empowering Filipinos as well. So we are able to bring this to you for free.
Yes. And that is a magic word, guys. It's free. Imagine these ladies as such a blessing to us for organizing an opportunity. And I know it is challenging times right now. And as you can see, that's the reason why I also invited these ladies so that they can share some lights, during this darkness time that we're going through, and utilize the resources, utilize the amazing individuals that are vessels for that for you. I look at this as a positive way of reinforcing your education, your knowledge, right? And with having said that, Max and Tina, our topic is leaders of today. So for both of you, what is leadership to you? Anyone can go first.
I'll go first.
Hmm.
For me, leadership is being able to inspire other people to live their best lives and to be the best versions of themselves. Oftentimes, when we see leaders, we're like, lead by example or lead other people to do other things. But then I think it's such a simple
I'll go
concept.
first. Go, Max.
I went na. I'm done.
Tina,
Yeah,
you
so
there?
basically that's it for me.
Tina? I think naglag ulit sa kanya. But that's all right. She'll hear us.
Yeah, she will.
But thanks, Max. It's true. We need to be there for others and,
Is it my turn?
ask for
Oh my
changes.
gosh.
Yes, Tina, go ahead. It's your turn. Tina?
um, okay. For me, leadership is not about, I'm so sorry. Yeah,
It's
yeah, I hear
okay.
you. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
I think it's still going in late for her. But we are asking Tina what is leadership to her. So when she is back, she'll be able to share that with
Yes.
us. But for the meantime, maybe Max, can you invite everyone again to your upcoming event?
So
And
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
that's it.
So on July 24 and 25, we'd like you to join us for our free event. It's crazy when we're pitching it to other people and they hear the lineup of the speakers. They're like, are you sure that's a free event? And we're like, yes. We want learning to be accessible to everybody. So that's the goal. Like when we started enrolling with coaches, with mentors, we were like, we want this for other people. But then
Yes.
they have to take the first step and they have to realize that it is accessible to them. That even if they're in their houses, they're stuck in their desk, that they have something like this that they can say yes to. So the link is there at the bottom. It's also in the comment section. Just click the link and then register.
Yes. And Tina, you are back.
I'm
How
back.
are
Oh
you?
my gosh. Stressed. I'm
So while
stressed
we
by
were
this
waiting
network
for you,
connection.
that's okay. You were in the middle of sharing with us what leadership means to you.
Oh, okay. So for me, leadership is not about being a dictator, like telling people I want things this way. Leadership is about providing direction, especially in our business. It's not about um, that's why we're always advocating be the boss of your own life, because people have so much independence in our line of work, but then leaders are there and they are important because we give direction and we have gone through certain experiences, and so there's wisdom in that. And so I think that's the role of a leader, to inspire people to move, not necessarily dictating how they should do things.
Mhm.
But also, I want to say hi to people who are watching. I saw one of our tribe
Yes.
members. I saw Kitan. I see Nikki, Manel, and Ezekiel. So, hi, guys. Thanks for joining us. So, I see the love of people in the community, and they really appreciate it when you do show up. And sometimes you don't have to know all the answers. So, being a leader, yes, you have wisdom, you have experience, but sometimes you don't need to have the answer. All you have to do is be there and listen really well. Sometimes people just need listening ear, and then you can find the solution together.
Mhm. Amazing, beautiful answers. And there you have it, guys. I hope that you've learned so much from these ladies. I truly admire them so much and is always motivated to say yes in everything that they invite me to. So if you have not yet followed Pinay Girl Boss on social media, we have that also being presented here on the stream. But before we go, ladies, I want to lighten things up and I just want to do something fun and exciting with you both. And I was inspired by the book Strengths Finder. I don't know if you've read that yet, but I tweaked it a little bit, and I will ask you guys a question, and then you either point to yourself or thumbs up, and you point to yourself or point to the other person. Okay, whoever this is. Okay? Hopefully, Tina, you stay right there so that you can hear the question at the
I
same
hope
time.
it's real time. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay, let's do this. Before we have the challenge of signal. All right. So the first question is, who has the most patience? Okay, you're both. All right. The next question is, who is the stricter mom? Maybe we all are, but who do you think out of the two of you?
None.
Both. But
None. I think
We
we're
are
both
chill.
chill.
okay, next question. Who is most likely to overshare?
We're we're
Both.
transitioning into that.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh.
Well, there you go. I'm gonna manifest. All right. Next,
Yeah.
who is most likely to become a famous actress?
Huh? Is it there?
All
Ako
right.
yata
Next.
yung may showbiz dreams, aming dalawa.
Okay lang yan. You already are there. Okay, so who is most likely to be unable to keep a secret for 30 minutes?
That's us to each other. We're like,
To each other lang. To each other
Oh,
each
lang.
other
yeah.
lang.
Kasi
Yeah.
we are good secret keepers. We
Together.
are.
But to
You can
each,
tell us that.
but to each other, no, we're like, no, no, no.
That's
We're
funny.
impatient.
Okay, so who tends to laugh at the wrong moment?
Parang not so much naman.
Parang everyone's quiet and then I'm like,
That's okay. At least you're not crying. Okay, next. Who takes the most selfies? Okay, and then
Max doesn't take selfies. She does it for me because I ask her.
oh,
yeah.
She rarely takes selfies.
oh my gosh. And who is the boss of your life? Yeah. So speaking of that, ladies, please invite everyone again to this weekend's amazing and free, guys. Yes, free event. So Tina and Max, go ahead.
Tina, go ahead.
Go, Max.
Okay. So
This is why we are
again,
great partners, right?
I know.
we posted the link on the comment section below.
Mhm.
It will be streamed live on Facebook and YouTube for the first hour on both days, but the rest of the webinar will be streamed in a private link, which will be sent to you as soon as you click that register button. And if you visit that site, you will see all the amazing speakers, but we're keeping one surprise guest a surprise.
Yay. So, anything to add, Tina, before we say see you later to everybody here? I think I'll just add that please follow Pinay Girl Boss because there's so many amazing announcements. There's so much inspiring content that is posted there daily. And I believe Max and Tina will also continue their podcast, right, Tina? Yep. Okay,
Yes.
so
Please wait for season 2.
yes. So please again click and register for all the runners out there. Run with us and be inspired to be the boss of your life. So having said that, guys, we have reached the end of the show, and I would like to thank Max and Tina for sharing your success stories and for encouraging every individual to be the boss of their own lives. I would also like to thank everyone for showing support, for showing up. Maraming salamat to all our viewers on Kumu, and I hope you have learned a lot from the amazing duo right here. And don't forget to follow our social media accounts and turn on the notification bell for the next show of In Love With Me series. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, and amazing leaders of today, I am your host, Mafae Velasco. And of course, you know what to do, and that is actions speak louder than words. And thank you for tuning in this episode of In Love With Me. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, Mafae.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching In Love With Me series.